Okay, so let's just dive right in. Imagine for a second that the entire sprawling world of conspiracy theories,
All of it.
yeah, all of it, not just the really fringe stuff you see online, but that underlying feeling that powerful, unseen forces are running the show.
Uh-huh.
Imagine if that wasn't a grassroots thing, if it wasn't organic, but instead it was a deliberate, well-funded, and highly organized PR campaign.
That is the really startling premise we're digging into today.
And our source for this is, frankly, unbelievable.
It's a book called Confessions of a Professional Conspiracy Theorist, written by a man named Will Camden.
And Camden claims he was a pretty high-level PR professional who got recruited for this. He was moving beyond selling, coffee or cars and into the business of managing global paranoia.
And the mission here, it wasn't just to fool people or cause chaos. The goal was something much deeper and maybe even a bit more cynical.
Right. According to Camden's account, this whole operation was designed to give the public what he calls a psychological comfort blanket.
That's the key phrase.
And they were using established, psychological influence techniques to do it.
Exactly. Think about how disorienting the modern world is, especially that period when the internet was really taking off.
The technological revolution.
Right. There's data overload, rapid change, global systems you can't really see or touch. It's genuinely confusing for a lot of people. And when people feel that loss of control, they crave certainty. They crave simple answers.
And this comfort blanket provides that. It provides the certainty.
It does. So instead of all this random chaos, they offer a clear myth, a neat package.
And instead of complex, faceless problems, you get villains, identifiable villains.
Exactly. Because the truth is that the world is messy, it's often random,
Yeah.
and it's controlled by these huge, decentralized, and frankly, often incompetent bureaucracies.
Which is not a very satisfying answer.
It's deeply uncomfortable psychologically. So Camden's new employers, they understood that if you give people a powerful, consistent story, even if that story involves secret rulers, it actually reduces their anxiety. It gives them a single filter to see the world through.
It's social management, but it's disguised as telling you the radical truth.
That's the genius of it. It's a very cynical form.
So before Camden got this world-changing job, he had to learn the ropes. How did he master manipulating perception on a smaller scale? What was he doing?
Well, his story really shows that the basic tools for selling a belief were already perfected in the consumer world. The exact same tactics he used for, everyday products were just scaled up for ideology.
Okay, so let's get into the first example, the tea versus coffee wars. That sounds so...
It sounds straight out of Mad Men, doesn't it?
It really does.
And it was purely mercenary. Camden's firm had accounts for both the British Association of Tea Importers and a huge international coffee brand at the same time.
Wow, so they were working for opposite sides.
They were getting paid to steal customers from each other. The actual product didn't matter. The only thing that mattered was making people switch.
So how do you even do that? You can't just say, our coffee is tastier. That's just advertising.
No, it was much more subtle. They created anxiety. For the coffee account, they'd leak these half-truths about, say, health scares with tea. Things like high tannin levels could affect mineral absorption or it stains your teeth. Little things.
And for the tea account?
They'd do the reverse. Focus on coffee, causing the jitters, high blood pressure, messing with your sleep. They weren't selling a drink. They were selling you relief from the fear of the other drink.
So the lesson there wasn't about the product. It was about learning to weaponize fear to break trust in a competitor.
Precisely. You sell the anxiety, then you sell your client as the cure. And that leads to the second big lesson, manufacturing demand.
Creating a need that wasn't there before.
Yeah, exactly. The perfect example is the railway sleepers project.
Railway sleepers. You mean like the big wooden beams they use for train tracks?
The very same. A totally niche landscaping item. Nobody was really asking for them.
So how did they sell them?
It was ingenious. They funded and produced a huge TV home and garden makeover show. And on this show, the hosts, who came across as these friendly, authoritative experts,
Right.
they would just happen to use railway sleepers in almost every beautiful aspirational garden they built.
So they weren't advertising them, they were just normalizing them, making it seem like this is what the pros use.
Exactly. The show never ran an ad for the sleepers. But seeing them week after week used by these experts you trust, it created this massive consumer demand out of thin air. People weren't told to buy them. They were shown that, if you're in the know, you have to have them.
So you can create desire just by controlling the context and the authoritative voice.
That's the power of it. And the third example, manufacturing authenticity. This feels like it's getting even closer to selling a believable conspiracy.
How so?
Well, a huge brewery hired them. Their problem was competing with all these small, independent pubs that felt more traditional or real.
Uh,
How do you make a brand new chain pub feel like it has history?
you can't. I mean, people can see it's new. They'll know it's fake.
Right, so you don't try to fake the history. You fake the feeling. They brought in theater stage designers,
Stage designer.
people whose entire career is about creating believable sets. They created a false sense of authenticity. Distressed wood, fake memorabilia placed just so, specific warm lighting. They even engineered certain smells to make you feel cozy and at home.
So the whole environment was a professional stage set. It was designed to sell the feeling of real Britain.
And by extension, the brewery's beer. The lesson Camden took from that was huge. People don't actually want authenticity. They want the feeling of authenticity. And if you can manufacture that feeling professionally, you can sell any store you want.
Wow. So selling anxiety, manufacturing demand, faking authenticity, that's a pretty powerful toolkit.
It's the perfect toolbox for what came next.
Which brings us to this massive turning point. It's 1998. He's at a PR conference in Stockholm. And the big topic is the internet, right? How this new thing could be used to influence belief on a scale no one had ever seen before.
This is the moment everything changes for him. He's no longer selling products. He's being asked to sell reality itself.
Yeah.
He runs into an old colleague, a really charismatic guy named Jez, who pulls him aside in the hotel lobby.
And Jez has a proposal.
An audacious one.
Yeah.
He basically says, stop selling washing powder and start spreading conspiracy theories for us, professionally.
And be specific about it.
Very specific.
Yeah.
He's asked to help manage and promote the mythology of the Illuminati.
I mean, what was Camden's reaction? Did he push back? It sounds insane.
He says he was skeptical. He apparently said something like, I sell coffee, Jez, not invisible secret rulers. But Jez just brushed that aside. He reframed the whole thing.
How?
He just called belief another market. He said their organization, which he called the ministry, was simply cornering a new, untapped segment of the psychological market.
The Illuminati as a consumer product.
That's it. And if it's a product, you manage it, you market it, and you measure its success by market share.
So all the moral questions just disappear.
They do. And Jez gives him the foundational rule for the whole project. The mantra, repeat till real.
Repeat till real.
The logic, from a PR perspective, is kind of undeniable. If you repeat a story often enough, through enough channels that seem independent, and you use the right so-called experts and insiders.
The ones with the manufactured authenticity.
Right. It just becomes true in people's minds. The sheer volume and consistency of the message beats any lack of actual evidence.
So repeat till real is basically the Railway Sleepers project, but for an ideology. It's not about logic. It's about surrounding someone with an idea until it just feels normal.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
And to make this all sound like a solid business plan and not, madness, Jez grounds it in the history of their own profession. He brings up the father of PR himself, Edward Bernays.
Okay, so Bernays. He's famous for taking wartime propaganda techniques and applying them to selling things in peacetime. But what does selling bacon in the 1920s have to do with selling the Illuminati now?
Because Bernays' campaign for beechnut bacon is the absolute blueprint. He knew he couldn't just run ads saying, buy our bacon. That's simple persuasion. He did something way more sophisticated. He didn't sell the product.
He sold the belief system first.
He reshaped breakfast for the entire country.
So walk us through how he actually did that. The method is everything here.
Okay, so Bernays commissions a survey. He sends it to 5,000 physicians. But he doesn't ask them, do you recommend beechnut bacon?
Of course not. That would be too obvious.
He asks them one simple, seemingly scientific question. Is a hearty breakfast healthier than a light breakfast, like coffee and toast?
And of course, most doctors are going to say a more substantial meal is healthier. It gives you more energy for the day.
Precisely. So now he has this professional consensus from doctors. And he doesn't just put that in a footnote. He launches a massive national PR campaign. Newspapers everywhere run with the headline, 5,000 doctors recommend a hearty breakfast.
And the picture right next to that headline is?
Bacon and eggs. Positioned as the default, necessary, visible example of what a hearty, doctor-approved breakfast looks like.
He didn't sell the product. He engineered the belief that made the product essential. You're not buying bacon because you're hungry. You're buying it because it's the medically sound choice.
That's the Bernays blueprint. And Jez's pitch to Camden was that this is the exact same model. They weren't going to be selling Illuminati books or T-shirts. They were selling the foundational belief in his secret elite.
So that whenever some chaotic, confusing global event happens, a market crash, a pandemic, whatever, people already have the Illuminati lens to view it through. It's the ultimate comfort blanket.
It lets you categorize reality instantly. No hard analysis needed. And from their perspective, the beautiful part is, once you believe in the framework, you start doing their work for them. You start finding evidence everywhere.
So what does this tell us about the scale of this thing? What's the real difference between what Camden used to do and this new mission for the ministry?
It's the difference between what he called the low-hanging fruit and the grand goal. His old